Some of you guys have been asking me about doing a demo on Jefferson squats and Jefferson deadlifts. So let's go over it a little bit. I'm going to show you how I find my positioning, what I kind of like. The positioning is going to be individual. You're going to need to position the bar where you feel strongest pulling. That's basically what it comes down to. But I'll just go over the kind of stance that I prefer. All right. So you got your bar. Now, it goes through your legs, right? One hand's got an overhand grip. One hand's got an under. Now generally, I'm like this. The hand behind me has an overhand grip. The hand in front has an underhand grip, okay? Now you'll see some people will go completely like this. They'll have the bar going straight through their legs this way, okay? And they're almost, I don't know what they're trying to do because that makes no sense to me. To me, it's an X, okay? It's an X shape. If you look down on me at the angle of my feet versus the angle of the bar, they're pretty much in an X to each other, okay? That's where I feel comfortable. That's where it feels balanced, all right? And more weight ends up being on the front leg, okay? The way I do it, down to here, boom. Now, if you're doing a Jefferson squat, you're staying upright, okay? If you're doing a Jefferson deadlift, you're going to get more back involved, obviously. That's the difference, okay? Remember that if you're going to train Jefferson, go both directions. Don't just train which leg feels better going forward. You'll make your body crooked and imbalanced. Okay, so if we do left leg forward for a set, we also do right leg forward for a set, okay? Remember, Jefferson squat is more upright. Jefferson deadlift involves more back. With me, it's pretty much an X. Some people, they're more like this. Some people, they're more like this. For me, the angle is an X between the bar, and if you drew a line between my feet, that line and the bar would be in an X to each other, okay? So, some of the things I really love about the Jefferson deadlift or Jefferson squat, it's really functional and athletic to have one foot in front of the other. Any sport you play, you're going to be in a stance like that. You're never going to be in a square stance doing anything meaningful in a sport for the most part. It feels good to me. Suits my physiology. Now obviously there's going to be variations with different people as to which deadlift suits their physiology the best, but I know I love this one. It's just so versatile, okay? It's athletic and it's versatile. Depending on how you lean and position your body while you're doing the lift, like if you lean forward and put the weight over your front leg more, you can. You can manually shift yourself and the bar forward, like in a lunge, and put more and more weight on that front leg while you're doing it, okay? If you wanted to, you could shift back and squat low and hit the back leg harder, okay? So it also hits one side of your lats harder, one side of your traps harder, and one side of your core harder while you're doing it. That's why it's imperative that if you do a set with one leg forward, you need to switch it around and do a set with the other leg forward, okay? Otherwise, if you're not thinking about it, you'll always do it whichever way you're naturally dominant, and you'll just make your body more and more out of balance. Your core, one side will be bigger and stronger. Your back, one side will be bigger and stronger. Your legs, one side will be bigger and stronger. So make sure if you do Jeffersons, you do an equal amount of sets or singles or reps or whatever you're doing each way. One leg forward, and then turn the whole thing around and mirror it and do the other leg forward, okay? Like I said, I tend to do an overhand grip with my backhand and an underhand grip with my front hand. But you can experiment with that. I think that's going to feel natural to most everybody. Get your foot width and positioning where you feel the strongest, where you're going to be able to lift the most. Your legs, if you pay attention, they will tell you in your own brain where they need to be to have the most strength, to lift the most weight. Okay, so keep your core tight. You might want to wear a belt if you're not used to this, because it pulls harder on one side of the core than the other. So if you don't have a bulletproof core and you're not sure and it's a new lift, you might want to practice it with a belt for a while till you feel more comfortable with it. But yeah, other than that, control your core and your spine like you would on a deadlift. Don't be rounding your back and, you know, asking for injury or anything. The deadlift version of it, you want your back pretty much the way you would do any deadlift. The squat version of it, you're trying to stay really upright and go low onto your legs. It's that simple, okay? So play with it a little. You can just take a regular barbell like I did, do some reps, feel some different positions, find your body positioning on it where you feel comfortable and strong, okay? And you can practice, you know, going upright and working legs. You can practice the full deadlift where your legs and back are working together. Either way, it's a lift that a person can get very strong on, and it definitely improves athletic, real-world functional strength. Like I say, the only thing to remember for sure, make sure you train both sides of it. Okay? If you do a left foot forward set, do a right foot forward set. Okay? Keep it equal, keep it even. Build both sides of your strength. I believe that this lift, because it places a little more weight on one leg and on one side of the back and on one side of the core while you're doing it, because of that, to me, it has a little more hypertrophy potential than doing the same amount of weight on, say, a standard rack pull or a you know, a trap bar rack pull, all of which, and guys, every variation of rack pull is wonderful, okay? I would never suggest doing just one. You know, we're going to alternate around between them, but right now I'm just going over the real special things about the Jefferson. So yeah, I believe pound for pound, because it pulls a little harder on one side of the back depending on which foot is forward, and it hits one leg heavier depending on which foot is forward, and your body positioning, you can use this to hit the muscles on one side a little harder and then turn around the other way and hit the muscles on the other side a little harder. So pound for pound, I believe, when you compare it to other deadlift variations or rack pull variations or even squats, you know, like the Nether by the Day 4, when I'm doing that, when I'm doing the Jefferson squats, I'm leaning my body weight to where the front leg is getting a lot more of the weight than the back leg. So it's like, it ends up being sort of like what you do on a lunge, on a weighted lunge, okay? And you put more weight forward onto the front leg, or at least most people do, I think, on a weighted lunge. But anyway, that's how it works for me, and that's one of the many special things about it for even leg training. If you do Jefferson squats, that, you know, a person might not realize if they just watch someone do it, that you're actually not dividing that weight evenly between the two legs, at least not the way I do it. I put the weight forward a little bit, so, you know, if I got 700 pounds on the bar and I'm doing some Jefferson squats and I'm leaning my weight forward more, that means it's about 400 of it is on the front leg and 300 is on the back leg. Do you see what I'm saying? So that front leg's getting hit hard like you're doing 800 pound squats. Then you switch legs and the other leg gets hit that hard, okay? Not to mention they're at a bit of an unusual angle, so it digs into the muscles pretty nicely, especially if you haven't done it very much. You do a Jefferson squat workout and you'll find your quads, glutes, hams can be sore in places more so than they are from any other exercise, like where you feel the soreness in the muscles be a little bit different. But anyway, it's just such a versatile, functional, badass lift that you can go heavy on and you can focus either legs or back. And either way, you're getting grip and yoke training, right? So, and core training. So, it's a really badass pull. So I recommend you guys, start out with lightweight, work on your positioning until you feel it. You feel right. You got your back posture right. You got your leg positioning right. Both directions, one foot forward and then the other. And then progress, then progress with the weight. And you'll find that for most of you, I think you'll be able to get very strong with it. And it's just really special the way you can aim it to target different muscles. Like I can hit my glutes particularly hard on purpose with it, or I can hit my hamstrings harder on purpose, or I can hit my quads harder on purpose. I can hit my lower back harder on purpose. I can hit my core harder on purpose depending on the positioning that I'm leaning, where I'm putting my body. So if you guys work with it like I haven't even been doing it very long. Like many of you, I had never even heard of a Jefferson deadlift or a Jefferson rack pull because people just stick to conventional stuff for the most part. So not even a year ago, I don't think, I discovered this lift, and it was like, oh, that looks cool. Let me try it. And immediately I just felt like, yeah, when I saw someone do it, I thought it looks a little weird and awkward. And then when I tried it, I thought this is actually way more comfortable and functional and balanced than the other variations of a deadlift that I've done. So immediately loved it. So that's my preaching about the Jefferson deadlift and the Jefferson rack pull and the Jefferson squat. Super versatile, super awesome. You can get great hypertrophy, you can get great strength gains, and you can get great real world strength, and you can target a variety of muscles on your body depending on how you're doing the lift. So 2 thumbs up for me. Let me know what you think, guys.